I'm going to be giving you strategy today that really helps to break down what needs to be in place in your life so that you don't sabotage your progress and you will actually increase the probability that you will succeed in your dreams and your goals and have continuous, steady breakthroughs all the time. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. It's so great to have you here. My name is Kim Fisher. I'm a holistic empowerment and embodiment coach. If this is your first time to the show, a special welcome to you. It's so great to have you here. If you're a repeat listener, welcome back. How have you been, my friend? Today, we're going to talk all about my particular methodology for breakthroughs. This is something that I channeled not too long ago. This is the 7 steps to breakthrough that not only break down what a breakthrough actually is, not what the world wants you to believe or not what you think a breakthrough is, but actually what a breakthrough is, plus what you need to do to make sure that you don't stop. Because breakthroughs happen when you don't stop. But a lot of people, as you're going to find out in just a second, stop. They do not actually achieve their goals and their dreams. And you know what? Nothing breaks my heart more because honestly, if you go towards a goal and a dream and you succeed, think of how great that feels. You feel incredible, right? You're like, I did that thing. I ran a half K or a half marathon. I ran a 5K. I decided I was going to hike that mountain and I did it. Or I bought that sports car and I wanted it and I did it. Or I set out to get my master's degree. Whatever it is, you set goals and you go for it and you achieve it, you are very different from the rest of the world. So I'm going to be giving you strategy today that really helps to break down what needs to be in place in your life so that you don't sabotage your progress and you will actually increase the probability that you will succeed in your dreams and your goals and have continuous, steady breakthroughs all the time. And then what I'd like for you to do as well, if you want to study this more and go into depth and actually do embodiment practices that are steeped into this methodology, join the free 12-day challenge. We start on July 10th. It is free. It is for 12 days. And we talk all about the 7 steps to breakthrough, and we go into detail plus lots more. So more about that beneath this video, read it in the show notes or wherever you can get a hold of me and I'll give you the link. But don't miss this. It's going to be incredible. So the first thing I want to hit you with are some stats. Okay, so here's some data. According to Reliable Plant, excuse me, only 20% of people set goals for themselves. According to Reliable Plant, only 20% of people set goals for themselves, which means that 80% of people don't set goals. Right there, that's got me a little like, what? What is everyone doing? How do you guys get anything done? How do you get anything done? What's even more unfortunate, it continues, is that out of the 20% of people who do set goals, only about 30% will succeed. That means that only a third of those people who set goals will actually fully achieve them. And of all people, that makes 6%. 6% of all people achieve their goals that they set. We've got 20% of people setting goals, and of that 20%, only 30% will succeed. That worries me. And it should have you a little worried too, because we've got a lot of people walking around this planet who are not setting goals for themselves. So my first question as an empowerment and mindset coach is then, if you're not setting goals for yourself, who is? If you are not setting goals for yourself, that means to me that life, marketing, social media, other people are setting goals for you. In other words, you're living someone else's life for someone else. Oh, no wonder we don't feel fulfilled. No wonder we have such huge mental health issues. No wonder we're feeling really sad and tired and frustrated and just fed up with the world. When you set goals for yourself and you figure out how to actually work toward them at a reasonable, steady, and empowered rate, your ability to achieve those goals goes up. And that's really important because the more you achieve your goals, the more evidence you have that you complete things you said you were going to complete. Your brain, as much as you might have this story inside of you that you're not a person who's trustworthy, or some of you might have a story of, I just can't be counted on, or I'm not courageous enough, I'm not smart enough, whatever the paradigm or story is in your head, it really doesn't stand a chance against the evidence that, hey, well, despite that, you still complete your goals. You still do what you say you're going to do. And over time, that evidence stacks up to where the inner critic that you have gets quieter and quieter and quieter, because you really can't dispute the evidence. You set a goal, you achieve it. Now, what I like to specialize in, and I help people with this all of the time inside of any of the memberships, really the Rise curriculum, the Rise Holistic Empowerment membership, and inside of Diamond Frequency University, if you're an entrepreneur, that's the ecosystem for you. I love breaking down goals for people and getting them to understand that a big goal is really made up of a bunch of little goals, tiny bite-sized yummy pieces, little munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts that you can eat and that add up to a big donut. Right. So if you're thinking, I want one big marathon, I want to run a marathon this year. Well, where are you going to start? Probably like get out of the house and run a tiny bit. Try to get 2 miles in, and maybe you walk, run. But that's the idea, is take your big goal and break it down into small pieces. And the awesome success in this is that when you do the small goal and you get that done, you feel like you've won the big goal. And that's because you've completed a goal. Yeah, it's small compared to where you're heading. If you wanted to run a marathon, learning to run 2 miles, you might be like, I'm nowhere near the marathon length, but you still set a goal for yourself and you still completed it. So hooray, and pat on the back and all that jazz. That's what keeps you going. Some of you guys just need to learn how to break down your big goals into smaller bite-sized niblets. Because when you complete it, not only do you know you're working towards a big, beautiful goal, and that's exciting, but you're actually going to get that dopamine hit of, oh, cool, that's done. I crossed it off. I X'd it out, or I slide, like if you use me or you use what I use Notion.so on the computer. I slide things from in progress to done. When I slide it over on my desktop, it feels so freaking good. And that's intentional. Sliding things over, moving your Post-it notes on the wall from however you want to do it. Have some mechanism that helps you feel and see and physically move things from in progress to done. Physically moving things, physically checking things off is such a huge part of strategy to keeping your momentum going. Okay. So first thing, what's your goal? Think about it right now, guys. What's your big ass goal? And have you broken it down into smaller goals? And then if you have, I want to challenge you and ask you, can you break it down even more? And chances are you probably can. This is like reverse engineering is another fancy word for this. Okay. So you must, for the reason I just said, go backwards, reverse engineer your goals. And day one is your first goal. It contains the seed of the larger goal. Okay. Then what you're going to see over time is after even a week is, okay, cool. I've done 7 things this week, which is a lot compared to that statistics of just 6% of people who are setting goals for themselves are actually succeeding. I want you to be a part of that 6%. I want you to know you're a part of that 6%. I don't want you ever guessing, am I doing life well? Am I setting goals? Yes. And you've got to set goals for yourself, okay? One of the things I want to drop into this conversation right now is breakthroughs. I feel like a goal is a winning goal, a goal that you've achieved is similar to a breakthrough. They're similar and different. When you achieve a goal, you have that hit of dopamine, you have that yes feeling that a breakthrough does give you. A breakthrough kind of has a little bit more awe and wow in it, right? Like that big mind blown aha light bulb moment. That's kind of what a breakthrough feels like. You can have a physical breakthrough. In other words, your body can lead you towards a breakthrough, or you can have a mental breakthrough where you actually are letting the mind guide you or reveal a faster process or those big aha moments to you. But either way, they usually carry some sort of feeling of awe and wonderment inside of them. Whereas achieving a goal has this sort of euphoric, unstoppable feeling that you feel really proud of yourself. And I can think about many, many examples in my life of setting goals and not achieving them. And I can think of even more examples in my life of setting goals and achieving them. It's not about setting the goal isn't really the hard part. It's committing yourself. It's flipping the switch. It's going all in and knowing that, hey, no matter what happens, I'm not stopping. And it's also knowing that you're going to want to stop along the way. And it's your job, I think, to get yourself in position, learn the skills, get the team, get the people around you, however that looks, to get you ready for not if, but when those moments that you want to quit, when they happen, that you have a system in place to keep you going. And I want to talk you through that today. Okay. So now that we know a little bit about the stats about goals, let's get into this actual idea of what a breakthrough is. First and foremost, a breakthrough is we want to break through something. I always picture like a wall, like a brick wall. I want to break through that wall. I want to be like the Kool-Aid man and just, oh yeah, right? Like bust through that wall. If you're over 35, you know what I mean. Break through that wall, and then what? There's some feeling. There's something you've overcome. There's a new way of being, a new behavior, a new action in the world that's clearly better than what you were doing before you broke through the wall. So breakthrough implies we're on one side of something and we want to get through it. We want to push through it. We want to break through the barrier and get to the other side. Now, I specifically chose, or rather channeled or saw the vision of a brick wall when I thought about breakthrough. And I liked that because to me, a breakthrough isn't that big Kool-Aid man moment of just busting through the wall and all at once receiving your goodness, receiving the aha, receiving the change and transformation. Instead, breakthrough is a accumulation of small, manageable, bite-sized, continuous steps that you have intentionally done every day to lead you to the point where you can not bust through the wall, not break through, but actually step through the wall. This is where my thinking about this is going to be different for most folks. Is I don't think a breakthrough is the moment you pass your body literally through the wall, or metaphorically through whatever challenge was there, whatever hurdle it is. Breakthroughs happen every single day you decide to not stop. That's the breakthrough. The moment you want to stop and you do not. Breakthrough. I want to stop here. This feels comfortable. Oh my gosh, if I keep going, is it going to cause more difficulty? Am I going to get blah, 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 all that stuff? Let me just stop. Nope, I'm not going to stop. I said I would do this. Breakthrough. Every single time you keep taking action toward your dreams and your goals, and knowing exactly what dreams and goals or what actions you need to take is important. I call those the aligned actions, or we call fancy word for them are the aligned arrows of actions. We'll talk about that in a second, the arrows of actions, but you got to know what to work on to remove the barriers. Let's get back to the wall for a second here. So we've got a brick wall in front of us, right? And we know that on the other side of the wall is a better situation than what you're in now, right? And you want to break through. So metaphorically, what is it in your life right now? Like play along with me right now. What is it in your life right now that if that wasn't in the way, or if that thinking, if that behavior, if that pattern way of being in the world wasn't there, you were able to completely remove it, you would be better off. Do you know what that is? Get a sense of that right now. This will make this podcast so much more valuable for you. I call the space, the territory on the other side of the wall, the land of achievement. Because when we finally break through the wall, We are in the land of achievement. We are in the place that's better off than where we are on this side of the wall. We want to get on that side of the wall. It's the land of achievement. You've achieved it. It's yours. You fully occupy it. You fully have identified with it. You've overcome all the obstacles. You never, never, never stopped. You are in the land of achievement. It feels incredible. It's what it was all for. It's why you never stopped, and you knew it. You knew it would be like this. It's so incredible. You got more money, or you got that promotion, or you have a new house now, a new car, or you have a more physically fit body, you have a healthier relationship with self, whatever it is that you think is going to be improved by having your breakthrough. That's the land of achievement. That's the goal. But we have this wall in front of us, right? And so this brick wall is standing between us. And so what we really have to do is understand that one by one, each brick needs to come out of the wall. We're not going to take a bulldozer or a big ball and chain, demolition ball. We could do that, but what you lose out on is ownership. If you were to just take some TNT or the demolition ball and just swing it through the wall and then be like, hey, I had my breakthrough, you would stand there and you'd be in your land of achievement, but in no time you'd go, this isn't mine, because you didn't work for it. You didn't work for it. And the magic of working something is that you occupy it well before it actually happens. This is important. We want to identify as someone who's already broken through the wall before we have our breakthrough. This is important. Pay attention. This is why you won't stop. So in other words, most people stop, myself included. I've experienced this a lot. I stop momentum. I stop working toward a goal because I've stopped identifying as a person who's already had my breakthrough. I see myself as a person who's on the other side of the wall, or on this side of the wall, stuck in my ways, stuck in the current money I make, stuck in the current debt, stuck in the current, if you have a shitty relationship with someone or your marriage isn't great, you're like, oh, I'm just stuck here. And you identify again with that person, more so than the person who's on the other side of the wall in the land of achievement. So if you want to keep going, you have to find a way to sort of spring yourself up and peer over the wall into the land of achievement. And I call that the trampoline of faith. You need almost this trampoline of faith to boing, 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 spring yourself up and look over the wall and recall the feelings in your body of just how great it's going to be when you're finally on that side. And by the way, the trampoline here is a metaphor for doing your daily embodiment practices. You must have a way to connect your body, heart, and mind together in a common driven goal, in one focused attention, so that when you feel that emotional hit again of, yes, I can see over this stupid wall, and one day I will be on the other side in the land of achievement. I'm using my trampoline of faith right now. I'm using my pranayama. I'm using my breath work. I'm using my mantra. I'm using my embodiment practices. I'm using my meditation. I'm using all of the things that you've learned and collected along the way. And you're springing up in your energy. You're springing up. You're raising your energy higher and higher and higher. And not only that, but you're visualizing what's on the other side of this wall in the land of achievement. And you're allowing yourself to feel the excitement for it now. When you allow yourself to keep springing up, when you allow yourself to play inside of this energy practice, we eventually recognize and remember we are already the person who has achieved it. And at this moment, you have landed in the seat of belief. The seat of belief is what I call the seat of the heart, right? It's the seat of belief. You're back inside the driver's seat. Buckle up, turn that engine over, let's go. That's really what's important if you want to keep going. Most of us, we just lose sight of the achievement. We lose sight. We lose the feeling. We lose the residue, the remembrance of why you're doing this in the first place. And so you need that trampoline of faith to keep springing yourself up, to peek over the wall and peek over the wall. And oh yeah, oh cool. Oh yeah, this is going to be great. I can't wait. Okay, I'm going to keep going. And when you've felt that shift again of, yes, I'm going to keep going. You know, you're back in the seat of belief. And now, folks, this is where it gets really fun. Remember, I mentioned earlier there's these arrows. The arrows of action are you literally from the seat of belief taking aligned action. It's like an arrow shooting straight towards a bullseye, straight towards a target. The arrow is straight. It has a destination. It has intentionality. It has rigor to it. It's not a wobbly arrow. It doesn't decide to go left and right and up and down. It shoots straight. This is akin to you taking small bite-sized goals and doing them every single day, knowing they're aligned, right? We're heading towards a big target. We're heading towards the land of achievement. So every single day, you fire off your arrows. And in this analogy of the wall, this is similar to you going up and actually removing one brick out of the wall. You can start at the top, you can start at the middle, wherever you want. It's your wall, but you're removing one brick at a time. It is done in complete faith from the seat of faith, right? You're seated back inside of the trust, the faith, and the knowing that you can do this. And you're the one destined to do this, and you've already become that person that's done the work. Now you'll eventually start to pull out brick by brick, enough bricks where you're going to get to this moment where you can see, without the trampoline of faith, you can actually see into the land of achievement. And you're going to stand there and you're going to feel 100% certainty in your body. You see, before, when the wall is really high, we risk slipping back away from our seat of belief. And then we risk falling off of our trampoline too, right? But we stop the embodiment practices altogether. How many times have you done that before? I've done it too, where we just stop the embodiment practices and it's like, and we lose it all. We got to start over again. This time, when you've done enough work, aligned arrows of action that have removed the bricks from the wall, there's going to come a point where you can stand there on your own 2 feet and you can look beyond the wall because you've removed enough bricks. These are the old behaviors. The bricks represent the old pattern thinking, the old you. This is why it's a breakthrough, right? We've deteriorated enough of our old thinking. We've deteriorated and removed enough of our old behaviors, where now there's enough of the new behavior, there's enough of the new momentum, the arrows of action, that have removed the bricks. So we're totally dismantling our old version of self. The wall is slowly coming down. And there's a moment where you're going to stand there and you don't need the trampoline of faith anymore because you can see without jumping up over the wall. You can see. And this is similar to when manifestation starts to really work in your life. When you start to take enough action that the universe responds back to your actions in equal amount. We start to feel, oh, this is working. Oh, I'm starting to see it materialize. I can see now. I'm starting to see my new life on the other side of this wall. I haven't crossed over it fully yet, but I have completely seen the other side. And I can start to feel it in some tangible, maybe money starting to show up in greater amounts. Maybe the love of your life, you're going on more dates. You're starting to see some physical results in the mirror as a result of your exercise, etc. And this point is known as, it's very important that you get here, and everyone eventually does. This is where you know your breakthrough is just around the corner. This is called the critical point of belief. When you reach the critical point of belief, enough bricks in your wall have been removed, and you can stand there and, one, admire and be proud of all of the hard work you've done thus far. And two, you don't need to coax, you don't need to jazz yourself up anymore to believe what once wasn't able to be seen or felt. You can now stand there and see beyond the wall into your land of achievement. And like I said, you're already starting to see some of the physical manifestations happening around you, giving you evidence that yes, you were right all along, that this is really going to happen. And at this point, this is the line in the sand, the critical point of belief. The individual has nowhere to go but forward. The line, this is the point of no return. And at this point, the individual accelerates beyond what they ever thought it was possible. And taking bricks out is a no-brainer. They know exactly what steps to do. There's less calculation and more just action taking momentum. And there's a point where we don't bust through the wall, but there's enough bricks now after the critical point of belief where you can step right over it. You step over with ease. You step over with grace. You don't bust through the wall and hurt yourself. We don't need some external mechanism like a wrecking ball or TNT to break that thing down. No, you've done it yourself through steady devotional effort. And along the way, yeah, you wanted to quit. Sure, you could have, but you had your trampoline of faith and you re energized yourself and you refocused and you felt all the emotions and you landed back into the seat of faith. And then you kept going. You kept taking your aligned arrows of action. And finally, you took enough bricks away that, yeah, you could see into the land of achievement by just standing there. And that's the critical point of belief. And now no one could convince you otherwise that what you're doing and where you're headed isn't going to happen. You can see it with your own two eyes. And at this point, this is when your significant other and your kids are starting to go, oh, you're really doing this. And you're like, man, I've been doing this. Where the hell have you been? Hello, this is what I've been doing. But yeah, now you can go ahead and see it with me. Because it's starting to materialize in the world around you more. And then there's the point where you've removed enough bricks, you just step right over. And this is another distinction that I want to point out here inside of the way that I teach this breakthrough system and how you're going to hear about it more and get to live it actually in this upcoming free 12-day reclaiming challenge is that breakthrough is easy. Breakthrough is graceful. Breakthrough is a step forward. It's not a big explosive moment because, and I actually don't want it to be for you. You're going to feel euphoria. You're going to be like, whoa, I'm a different person. Whoa, this has happened. And all of the beautiful blessings that come with sticking with a goal and being a part of that 6%. I mean, yeah, we're going to celebrate, but you're going to hold it differently. Instead of you busting through a wall and being like, I'm here now, bitch, what? Right? Like it's actually, and then having to work and wrestle and hold that energy and everyone going, who the hell are you? What did you do to deserve this to get here? And you question, yeah, what did I do to deserve this? I just bust through that wall. We're actually going to learn from that wall. You're actually going to take devotional action, aligned action every single day. And every brick, you're going to learn about yourself. And with every brick, you're going to get stronger. With every brick, you get more clear. And clarity plus momentum plus courage is the formula for breakthrough. But we don't need to bust through anything here. The way I'm going to teach you and the way you're going to do this on your own also, and in this challenge, if you want to step into the challenge with me, is to actually understand the simplification of a breakthrough so that when it happens, you hold it with grace and integrity. You don't feel over aroused or overstimulated and then want to go back to what was comfortable. Some people do that, they have their breakthrough and they can't believe it. Their nervous system gets so rattled and deregulated that they actually, after a couple months, go back and patch the wall back up because it's more comfortable on the other side, back where they started, because they've been there longer. So I want you to go slow with a breakthrough because I want you to identify and practice who you're going to be on the other side of that wall before it happens. So that when it does happen, and it will, you stand there with integrity. You stand there with ease and courage because you're ready for the next one. And this is where you accelerate towards the life you're meant to live with such speed and grace. People will be like, man, you make it look easy. Teach me how you do it. That's really it. All right, there you have it. There's the 7 steps to breakthrough. I hope you found that interesting. Whether or not you join me in the challenge, just really consider this the next time you're trying to hit something head on and force a new way of being. I want you to think about that wall and I want you to think about, okay, well, first I got to believe it. I got to believe it before I see it. Not see it, then believe it, but believe it before you see it. Feel it every single day and then ask yourself, what are the aligned, small, bite-sized actions that I'm going to take every single day to remove those bricks, remove my old self, and then celebrate it because those are small bits and pieces, seeds of the actual big victory. And they are a small victory in of themselves and they absolutely need to be celebrated. I know that if you follow this methodology, if you follow this way of thinking, you will experience joy, more joy in your life in the everyday mundane activities. And also you're going to experience more momentum because you won't be stopping along the way, wondering and second guessing and not getting towards your breakthrough. Remember, and I'm going to leave you with the stats here that remember, only 20% of people set goals. So by just you setting a goal and small ones every single day, you're already better than 80% that don't. You're with the 20% of people that do. That's huge. And then of those 20%, remember, only 30% actually achieve the goals, which leads us to that small, measly number of 6% of people actually making goals and achieving them. with the process that is laid out for you, you're going to have a clear cut way to know when you're sliding backwards and to do something about it. Get on that trampoline of faith. Oh my gosh, I'm starting to see things manifest around me. I must be at the critical point of no return, right? This is the critical point Kim was talking about. I'm almost there. And now we can cheer each other on and keep going all the way through breakthrough. Thanks, guys, so much. I'm so excited to share this with you. It's really important that you connect the dots here to understand your breakthrough is a simple, everyday activity that you do. It's designed for you to feel it and hold it with ease so that when we actually do have our big, big, big moments, imagine holding it now with steadiness and grace and ease because you've been practicing what it's going to be like all along before you had your big breakthrough. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys soon.